Personally, I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. We are about to play some motherfucking Amorous. I never get tired of that. I still don't understand why they have this like little mini launcher thing, like program. Seriously, just jump me in the damn game. Anyway, so we're going to pick up with Lex's playthrough. I don't know if it's actually finished or not because I didn't get an end screen, so that's our first operation of today. As soon as I figure out where we left off. Okay, I'm going to assume it's this one. Please tell me I'm right. Oh, fuck this. Oh, shit. Okay, that's new. I'm not sure why it caused the game to, like, freaking crash, but okay. Continue. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry about that. Let's see what we got here. Wait. I finished all the dates with Lex. Make a booty call. That's kind of mean. Okay, apparently we finished Lex's playthrough. For some reason, I didn't get an end screen. That's kind of weird. Let's see what we got. I don't really feel like following up with Bunny Girl. You know what? Let's go with Jax today. He seems like an interesting guy. That bartender from last night seemed like a really great guy. I think I'd like to get to know him a little better. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. He's not picking up. Maybe he's busy? Hey there, this is Jax. If it's morning, I'm probably asleep, and if it's evening, I'm probably at what should be your favorite club. Either way, leave me a message. I'll get back to you. Beep. Hey there, it's Tujo Panda. I'm just giving you a call to see if you're interested in meeting up today. I'll be nearby my phone for a while if you want to call back. Bye! I ended the call and hoped he'd call back. In the meantime, I can get on with my morning routine, which is surf the internet and check out furry porn. I wasn't too sure whether to make plans, so I got myself cleaned up, had breakfast, watched some TV. Anything to dawdle and burn the early morning. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. It took me a couple glances before I noticed my phone buzzing and dancing on the nearby countertop. I snagged it and picked up the call. Hello? I heard some groggy mumbling on the other end at first. It took a few minutes before I could make out what was being said. Yeah, who's this? I stifled a chuckle. Hey, Jax, it's Tujo from the club last night. There were a few loud noises on the end, and a second or two later, he seemed considerably more awake. Crap, I mean, hey, sorry. After you left, the club just kind of exploded with people. I was taking orders until 3 in the morning and didn't get home until 4. Hey, it's nice to hear from you. How was your night? I know, I was there until 2:30 myself. Wow, that place got packed fast. There were so many cool people to chat with. I wish my brother had told me about the place sooner. Should I be jealous? Good to know you hit it off so well and still thought to call me. I'm flattered. Most people forget I exist after the bar closes down. Reconsider? Man, that would be a dick move. I didn't mean to wake you up, but I was just wondering about something. Oh? What's on your mind? Well, I was wondering if you want to get together outside of the club. I mean, we could chat without having to shout over the noise, and someone else to make our drinks. But where's the fun of that? Very few people have my particular set of skills. Very true, but I wasn't thinking of mixed drinks. It's early and you sound a little groggy, so maybe you'd be up for some coffee? My treat. I'll even pitch in for a muffin. A muffin, huh? Tempting offer, sure. I could use a pick-me-up. Give me an hour or two to get ready. I literally fell into bed when I got home. Hey, sure. There's a coffee shop right next to the club. How about we meet there in an hour? I've been by a few times on my way after work. I'll see you there. Click. You know what I bet? I bet that's where Dustin works. Oh, man. He seemed a little hesitant. Maybe that's just the jitters on my end. Still, it'd be nice to see him again. Even if it's just for a coffee. As I set my phone down on the counter, I heard a comedically loud lawn behind me. Turning around, Coby was standing there, beaming. Man, what a little creepy, like, stalker guy. Did you meet somebody last night? Not that it's any of your business, but maybe. Bro, I'm happy for you. That's part of why I wanted you to bring you out to the club. You spent all your time just moping around the house. You need to get out. I do feel better about it. I got into a bit of a funk after what happened, so it's good to have a real distraction for once. And that's why you should always listen to me. Now, who caught your eye? If you have to pry, I met a guy at the bar. We had a few drinks and we chatted. It was really nice. At the bar, huh? And who was that? Don't you have anything better to do than to bug me about my dating life? Nope. Well, if you must know, he was the bartender, okay? Really fun guy, once he opened up a little. Jax? You're gonna be on a date with Jax? It's not a date. It's just coffee, okay? Dude, I'm so jealous. He's such a cutie. That's bow tier, brah. I didn't even know he swung that way. What's swinging? We're meeting for coffee. Besides, considering how much noise you were making when you got in, I think you managed pretty well by yourself. Oh, you know, I met a few people and he and I came back to test the bed springs. Yeah, that look right there was all I needed to know. Anyway, I need to get ready. I'm meeting him in an hour, okay? So, hope you don't mind if I grab a quick shower before I go. But you let me go first last time. Yeah, but you didn't have someone waiting on you. I knew it. It's a date. By all means, bro. But I want the details when you get home. Have fun. He scampered off to his room before barely keeping his grin in check. Glancing at myself in the window with my bathrobe half open, I realized just how haggard I looked at the moment. Nothing a good shower and some TLC couldn't fix. The water felt great, washing away my exhaustion. Part of me hated to admit it, but maybe Coby was right about going to the club. My life had become a little dull lately, and the promise of getting to know somebody new was exciting. As I got out and toweled off, my mind kept wandering. I barely knew this guy. What if I have expectations and he doesn't? Coby didn't even think he was interested in guys. Maybe there was something to that. I wonder if I was moving too fast. Stepping out of my stupor for a moment, I checked at the clock. Shit, it's nearly time. In my hurry, I made a wrong turn to get to the coffee shop, and I wound up taking longer than I thought. Pushed open the door and glanced around to see a few couples sitting at the tables. Just as I was about to curse myself for missing him, I saw Jax at the counter near the window, nursing a coffee mug and looking outside. His colors were muted, more neutral, and his clothes were considerably less revealing. I placed my order at the counter and walked over. Whoa. He doesn't look very happy. Hey there! Sorry I'm late. He looked up out of his reverie and smiled. His shade jumped one brighter, though I'm not sure he noticed. I set my coffee down and placed a muffin between us. Sorry! It takes at least 2 of these to get me completely wake up at this time of the day. So is he like a salamander, or what is he? He motioned to his coffee before picking it up and downing the rest. He set the cup down and smiled as he noticed the muffin. And you came through again! You, my friend, are quite the reliable gentleman. Are you alright? You looked a little distant and preoccupied. Something on your mind, man? Like I said, I need at least 2 cups before I'm at least half the fun I normally am at the club. I cut the muffin in half and ordered it to him. He smiled and took a piece off the top, absent-mindedly munching on it. He was a very different person outside the club. I began to wonder if it was just me. You sure? Seems like a little more than just sleep deprivation. Really, it's nothing. You just take quite a bit out of me, like working a long night like that. Sorry, I'm just a little rusty at this dating thing. Though, why would you keep working there if it keeps you up so late? It can take quite a bit out of me, but I wouldn't give it away for anything. I love the interaction. Meeting you people, making smiles. He stammered for a moment, as slip up before letting out a resigned chuckle. Drinks, I mean. It's part of my job to be so energetic and friendly. Not to make out I'm going to be a buzzkill, but I apologize in advance if I'm a little bit zombified this morning. It's kind of hard to keep high energy every minute of the day. Hey, I've had days where I just come home immediately pass out on the couch. Then now it's a little more depressing than when I have something to occupy my time. Still, that's why we invented coffee and muffins to take the edge off your worst days. True, but we're in a coffee shop, being social. I should probably have another cup to get myself together. He waved down the waiter, heading around to the pot and got a refill. After a sip or two, he looked back up at me, smiling. So, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. I'd like to know why you downed that drink in a single sitting. Were you just wanting to impress me? Or were you just trying to get a free ride home? You were the most interesting person, and I thought, hey, I should get to know this guy better. Is that so strange? Would you think much less of me if I said yes? Huh? Why would you say something like that, bro? Because I'm the attractive, scantily clad bartender. It's like open season on getting a piece of my tail. I enjoy the attention, but not the attention, if you catch my meaning. I'm not sure I really do. You like being the center of attention, but not being the center of attention for it? Everyone wants to see what's under the uniform, but that's where it stops. I work in a room with hundreds of people on a regular basis, and none of them actually want to get to know me. I suppose that's why you threw me for a bit of a loop. I can't believe that. I mean, you know, the way you mix drinks all night, the banter, just talking to me and wanting to get to know me. I'm surprised you didn't have a million phone numbers every night. I do. It's just that none of them really want to give me a call to talk. So much as call to see if I want to fool around. Is that so bad? I know it wouldn't be too sad if I had my pick of half the people I saw at the club. It's just not my scene, bro. Too many wild oats sown when I was younger, I guess. We both settled into an awkward silence for a moment, just sipping our coffee and nibbling on our muffin halves. Eventually, I just had to speak up. Well, look, man, I'm not one of those booty callers. I mean, you are quite attractive in and out of your outfit, but I wanted to get to know all about you, not just what I saw at the club. I blushed a little when I realized I'd said that, and he smiled and let it slide. Thanks. It's flattering, but also nice to know that your muffin didn't come with ulterior motives. Nope, just deliciousness and riboflavin. He laughed and began to relax, easing the tension that had been building. Still, something was bothering me. Sorry, I just can't get over how different you are from the club. That can't just be a mask, can it? You think you're gonna get to the whole life story with just a cup of coffee and a muffin? It's gonna take a lot more than that, bro. Then how about a movie? There's a matinee down the street in just a little bit. Mind if I add tickets and popcorn? You'll tell me a little more about your favorite color? I'm not doing work until 3. And as you can tell from my earlier phone call, I'm not exactly overwhelmed with things to do. But maybe I shouldn't. I mean, we only just met, and, you know. I picked up my half-eaten muffin and held it between us. I swear on this muffin that I'm not just here in it because you have a cute tush and you mix a mean drink. I'm in it for just much more than that, bro. Sorry. I guess it's just time to relax. Not a particularly helpful one either. I set the muffin back between us and dusted off my hands. I know you don't like to be forward, but you get plenty of that from work. Let's just go to the movie, enjoy some popcorn, see how the day takes us. You game? Of course. How can I say no to a muffin swear? It's the most honorable vow one could take with a half-baked good. We both finished our coffee and grabbed our coats. If we hurried, we could just make the 11 o'clock showings. Before he stepped out the door, He paused and smiled at me. It's blue, by the way. I couldn't help but smile as he walked past me out the door. As we made our way to the theater, more of Jack's at the club began to peek through. I was happy to see it and kept our conversation light. The Eastwood was one of the older multi-story buildings renovated into a multiplex. While the facade still looked like a charming old-fashioned theater, the inside was equipped with the latest technology. We stepped in through the block glass doors and up to the ticket counter. Good morning. What can I do for you, gentlemen? We barely noticed the gentleman in the small ticket booth as he was dwarfed by the vaulted ceilings. The lobby was absolutely massive. Shaking my head, I walked up to the counter and glanced at the board abroad. Do you have anything showing now? Well, we got a few movies that we're just about to start. It's been a slow morning, so we've got some seats left to fill all of them. I like I was just sitting there, like, holding 2 tickets. Like, I don't know. When I go to the movie theater, I don't typically see, like, you know, predetermined set of tickets for them to, like, give me. The two of us looked over the list and tried to pick something out. Jax briefly tried to pay for his own ticket, but I insisted on covering the entire thing. Because that's smart for a jobless, you know, worker to do. Anything in particular you'd like to see? The previews are about to start. I don't know. How about Western? 2 tickets for the Destiny of the Darkest Gun, please. The ticket salesman punched in a few numbers and swiped my card. After he handed me the tickets, I turned and handed one to Jax. Just down the hall and to your left. Enjoy the movie! As we headed to the theater, Jax turned to me and chuckled. Not exactly your average first date movie. I figured it was a safe bet, just a fun afternoon's distraction, where we could both have a chance to get a little more comfortable with each other. Jax insisted on buying the popcorn and drinks before we settled in for the movie. Oh man, I actually like that. It did give me time to think. Why was he so much different in person? Was it just me? Glancing over, I noticed he was munching popcorn as we watched the screen. He looked back at me and smiled again. Fortunately, the movie pulled my attention away as I was lost in the flurry of gunfights, random explosions, and one-liner catchphrases. We both got caught in the action and laughed at the terrible dialogue. Midway through the movie, I felt something brush along my hand and looked down to see it was his on mine. I gave it a gentle squeeze, and in the dim light, I saw him turn just a shade more purple. Once the movie had ended, we held our hands together for a moment before getting up after our seats. Back out in the lobby, Jax was already 2 shades more vibrant than we entered, and far more talkative. Did you see that? Guy gets shot 5 times and still gets back up to finish his whiskey? Or that line? What was it? Oh, you mean, just hand me the bottle, barkeep. I got 5 more people to shoot before sundown. We recounted most of the memorable scenes in the lobby, between spluttering laughs. I really should get going. I got a few errands to run before work. I slid my hand into his for a moment and squeezed it softly. You had a good time, right? I did. It was fun, getting a chance to spend some time out of the bar with someone. Guess I was feeling a little more jaded than I thought. We stood for a long, awkward moment, neither of us really wanting to walk away. As I looked up into those bright orange eyes, I knew I had to do something. Emboldened, I stepped closer to him and placed a hand on his shoulder. He shifted uncomfortably for a moment, his hue shifting redder, as I leaned down and pressed my lips to his cheek. I felt him shiver a little against me as his eyes lidded closed. We stayed there for just a moment before he slowly drew back and glanced away. We should do that again sometime. Whoa, I didn't know he's shit. So is he a chameleon? He does not look like a chameleon to me. Definitely. He stammered for a moment before smiling up at me. I'm off in a couple days. How about we get together for some dinner? Sure, I'd love to. Oh, well, I messed that up. Near your place, huh? You sure you don't have some ulterior motives? Maybe just a little. I would say they are powerful ulterior motives, but I'd be lying to see if that since I had some. Good, because you're making me consider some of my own. Well, shall we eat first and then explore each other's ulterior motives? Sounds perfect. I can meet you there. No sense in driving all the way across town to pick me up, particularly if you had to carry all those ulterior motives. We said our goodbyes and parted ways. For me, at least, I felt quite a little better about the situation. Even if I was a little rusty at this, I still did have good enough time to keep him interested. Back in the car, I went over the date in my mind, smiling as I relived the good bits. I knew I'd be coming home to Coby and a million questions before I could enjoy the memory of my first date in a long time. You know, I don't know, like, one thing that I do criticize about this game, I wish you could just, like, walk outside and sort of just, like, walk around and look around. I know that there's, like, a map around here. Actually, let's take a look at that. Let's see what we got. Never mind. Oh, wait. Let me press M. Okay, never mind. Let's see the gallery. Enable topless cheat. They're not really cheats of their features of the game. Just saying. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Alright, so... Whoa. I don't want to do that. Contacts. Let's call Remy. But yeah, I'm kind of cheated about Lex's dating tree. Like, I didn't get an ending screen or anything. Or the end credits. Let's see what Remy is up to. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Click. Oh, she doesn't have a display picture. Hello. Hey, Remy, it's Tujo. I was wondering what you were up to. Hey, Tujo. Sorry I didn't recognize the number. I'm not doing much right now. I work later, but for now I'm just relaxing. Damn, I was going to ask you were free to meet up somewhere. Ah, yeah, I work the dinner shift tonight, though I'm free before then. Oh, well, then good. I guess dinner plans are out of the question. Did you have anything else in mind? Oh, I have an idea, yeah. There's some new exhibits at the Aquarium by the beach promenade. Would you want to go out with me after this afternoon? Say 2 p.m.? Works for me. But wait, didn't you say you were afraid of sharks? Yeah, well, I still respect them. As long as they're on the different sides of the glass. They have a cool jellyfish exhibit too, the glow-in-the-dark ones. I'll be fine. Anyway, I'm sure you'll keep me safe from the scary nature. I can be the butch one, sure. As long as we get an ice cream to balance it out. Haha, big kid. Okay, deal. I'll see you there. Definitely. See you there, Remy. Click. Better get changed and head out before I'm going to catch her. Didn't take me long before I pick out an outfit and drive over to the aquarium. Since Remy already mentioned being afraid of sharks, I suppose I had a little bit of ammunition for teasing the shy bunny girl. She seemed to enjoy the playful assertiveness plenty. Remy was waiting inside, looking a little sheepishly from her spot at the exhibits. She's wearing the same cute sweater and picking out one of her sleeves. Remy, hi, I didn't mean to keep you waiting for too long, did I? Oh, hey. No, I only got here a minute ago. I looked around as we stood around the entrance. It seemed like there were a handful of major exhibits, including jellyfish and sharks. I wondered how best to handle Remy's shark phobia. So, there seem to be some cool exhibits here. How did you want to deal with the shark exhibit? We can avoid it if you want. That's okay. I'd like to see them. My phobia is kind of worse when I think about being in the water, I think. They're nice to look at. As long as you hold my hand. Sounds like a good trade to me. I smiled and held out my hand for her to take as we headed off along the path through the exhibits. You know the shark exhibit isn't for a while, right? Oh, I know. I know. I squeezed her fingers softly as she wove them with mine as we walked. We strolled along for a long time, checking around the bright tropical fish dancing through the reefs and alien crabs roaming like desert scavengers across the undersea worlds. The time with her seemed to fly by as we chatted a little, about her work in the kitchens and traded the names of a few musicians I liked, between comments on the exhibits. It was generally a nice time, and Remy's thoughtful admiration of the fist was contagious as we explored the tanks. After a while, we finished with the fragile seahorses dancing like leaves in the currents in their tank, and found ourselves at the mouth to the underwater walkway of the shark tank. Well, here goes nothing, right? I smiled reassuringly and squeezed her fingers as we continued to walk through the mouth of the glass tube overhead. It'll be okay. We'll check them out and everything will be fine. They're just like any other fish here, right? They're not anywhere near as deadly as those poisonous fish we saw. Yeah, I guess you're right. She didn't seem all that convinced as we stepped a little closer, hugging my arm. It was a sweet gesture and made me forget for a moment that Remy was supposed to be older between us. As we made our way into the center of the tank, the large fish could swim over our heads, surrounding us on all sides. Mostly they were just regular fish, moving in small, large shoals, but between them, gliding silently through the water with the smallest flicks of their tails, were the sharks. See, they're not much different from other fish. I guess you're right. Just bigger, but I suppose they wouldn't hurt me. Not at all. Most of them don't even get big enough to attack a full-grown person. Either way, I'll keep you safe, like I said. She smiled at that as we stopped by the solid railings and watched one of the largest sharks, an 8-foot tiger shark, roam back and forth between the glass, showing off its beautiful camouflage markings. Remy seemed transfixed, not in horror, but in admiration. Wow. I stepped between her, wrapping my arms around her middle tenderly so I was resting my head on her shoulder, watching with her. She stroked at my arm and leaned into me, her hips against my own as I gently traced overhead. Simply held her as we enjoyed the sharks. Thank you, Tucho. Sorry for being a scaredy cat. They really are beautiful to watch. Of course. Any excuse to cuddle, right? Do we need excuses still? I guess not. She reached up to pet along my jaw, and I gave her a kiss on the neck that made her blush deeper and lean more into her arms. After some time, we made our way into the other exhibits. Oh, no. Well, looky here. Appearing between two of the tanks, Riptide sauntered over, giving us a derisive look. If it isn't the happy couple, that pity date is going to be pretty long, huh? Have we moved in together yet? Or is this date to loosen Remy up for you, newbie? You've not gotten with her yet, huh? That's a new record from what I hear. I see. Are we holding hands and skipping through the aquarium together? Huh. Cute. How long is this one going to last for, Remy? I think you should back off, Riptide. I'm here with Tucho. That's fine by me. The newbie can watch how a man lands a prize. None of this baby stuff. Wow. Wow, that would escalate things really bad. That would be a dick thing to say. You heard what she said. She's here with me, bro. Get lost. I moved Remy behind me to make some difference between her and Riptide, blocking his way. If you really think Remy is here is like how you say, then what do you care if I'm here with her today? The point is, Remy's here with me, and I'm sure as hell not going to give her up to somebody like you. Oh, I doubt you could stand up to a challenge like that. You don't got the stamina to fight about it, Sugar Puff. I think you're not dumb enough for mutually assured destruction. Do you think they'll let you back in with the club with assault charges? Just leave it alone, jerk. Ugh, fine. You win the big prize, hotshot. Fuck this. Good luck, assholes. Oh, wow. Riptide stormed off, leaving us here in the middle of the aquarium. I'm sorry, Remy. I feel like this mess was my fault. No, it's my fault for flirting with him and you, I guess. You know I wouldn't be here if I wasn't interested, right? Looks like he's gone. Let's not ruin the afternoon, huh? Let's go find your jellyfish exhibit. Okay, yeah. I guess we should make most of what's left of the afternoon. We walked around the rest of the smaller exhibits before getting to the jellyfish, which was the spectacle that it had promised to be. The jellyfish exhibit was a tall wall of a tank with wire-tiered seats looking down on what looked like a movie theater. The room was dark, save for a few lights marking the way and colored spotlights within the dark tank that caught the see-through creatures, lighting them from within, their bubble-like bodies glowing with beautiful colored hues against the dark backdrop of the water. It was truly beautiful, and whilst Remy had been quiet since Riptide's intervention on the date, she seemed to cheer up when we took our seats back to enjoy the lava lamp-esque performance of the serene jellyfish. They're beautiful. I took her hand in mine and caught her eyes. For what it's worth, I hope you know that I've had a great time with you. I won't lie and say I'd prefer to fight with your other suitors rather than having time with you and ourselves. She stroked the back of my hand softly, looking solemn. Considering how he was acting, I'm more than happy that you convinced me not to get involved with him. It wasn't fair of me to drag you to the super stuff with the Riptide. I guess I let guys like that get under my skin. You're so interested in me, I hope. Yeah, of course. I squeezed her fingers and gave her an embarrassed smile. Of course I am. Why would I not be? For what it's worth, I'm glad I picked you over him. At least, I think so. What is it? Remy played with her fingers and shifted in her seat a little before looking embarrassed and sad. I guess Rip also isn't exactly wrong that I've been dating at Amorous for a while. He's exaggerating my reputation, but I'm not exactly, you know, not exactly the kiss on the cheek on the first date kind of person. I guess I like to know where I stand, you know? I might be all shy around new people, but with a partner, that's different. I understand knowing if you want to make yourself compatible. So what? We're both adults. I think there would be a problem if you weren't interested in knowing that things work with a partner. That's true. I guess I'm just wondering how we fit together in that sense. I'm sure you've noticed by how that I'm usually submissive party and things. If you want to follow, I'll lead. Honestly, the way you melt under teasing is pretty hard to resist. I'm no Riptide, but I will take charge when needed. Not that I don't want to let you know that you're what you're feeling too. I appreciate that too, Joe. Thank you for the answer. I guess I'm just used to people being pretty candid. That's okay, Remy. I'm glad we had a chance to talk about it before it became a problem. I smiled and she laughed a little. And we got through it all without making a cougar or a racial bunny joke. I maybe thought about it, but it's not such a bad thing. I look forward to that when we're both ready for it. Though, looking at the time, don't you have to be at work soon? We got a little while yet. Remy leaned her head on my shoulder as we watched the jellyfish swimming along the water. I shifted back in my seat, stroking her shoulder as she rested her head against me. The jellyfish were, understandably, far from my mind as I ran my fingers through her scalp and over her sensitive ears to making her club close. Resting there with her was divine. The few playful nibbles against her ear that we could get away with in the dark room promised the start of many to come, with the way she squirmed in her seat and sent my blood racing. The best I could do was to tilt her chin to me and kiss her softly. I didn't dare do any more than have a taste of her lips. I knew I wouldn't be able to part from her after more. We finished off the date with ice creams on the beachfront, watching the sunset and sharing playfully smiles against my fingers stroked and rolled over her own in passionate play between us. We calmly ate her ice cream, trying our best to ignore our free hands. I was thirsty for her. Her candid questions about our roles to each other was fresh in my mind, leaving me aching. If it wasn't the middle of the afternoon, if it wasn't the middle of the beachfront, I might have dragged her down into the sand with me. Our party was concluded with a brief, passionate kiss that I wish I could have dragged on for hours. And just like that, I'm back in my room. Bling! A text. Had a great day today. Sorry to rush off. Work. That text does not remotely match what's there. Had a great time with you too, X. That doesn't really match up with this. We should do it again soon. Very soon. X3. Started to leave you hungry for more. Stupid work. That's okay. I'll be patient as long as it's just us. Just us, Nibbly and Shark. Okay, that was lame. What noise do sharks make? Blub, glub, ooh. Not exactly intimidating. One roars in the movies. Break over. We'll be thinking of you, X. Ditto. I'll call. And that's the end of that. Goofball. You called? Huh, another goofball. Where are your clothes this time, bro? They're in the wash, Mom. But spill it. I was just texting a girl I met in Amorous. Remy, a bunny girl. Not exactly my area of expertise, but is she nice? Very nice. She's a chef, too. Does that mean I won't be cooking for you anymore? Your clothing-optional pizza parties are only so nutritional. That depends on the pizza if it comes, too. That happened one time. Ahem. Whilst you were there, ahem. What? I said I'm taking a shower. Wanna join me? Tell me all about your date? Not at this time, Cobes. Pling. Fine. I'll leave you to your straight person exploits. You damn straight you will. Love, love, love. She's adorable. Okay, give me like 5 seconds. Alrighty then. Sorry about that brief intermission. We are back. Following my traditional playstyle, actually, there was something I used often myself, but it's at least be getting me up before noon. Okay. Can I change into something? I guess. Come on, wardrobe, cooperate. Whoa. I'm more at home with a goth Victorian look. That's better. Alright, let's call Jax. I think he's a pretty cool guy. After we parted ways, I walked back to my place. Jax was definitely an interesting guy, but I couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something more going on than I was aware of. I must have been lost in my thoughts when I came to the door because Coby was almost immediately pounced on me. I was wondering when you could be getting back. You took so long, I had to assume it was more than coffee. So tell me everything. For a small guy, Coby always managed to catch me off guard. I settled him down before he sat at the table. It was just a date, okay? I admitted it was a date. Are you happy now? Coby beamed. He always seemed to know I was hiding something, even when I didn't. So Dish, tell me, what did you two lovebirds do? We're not in love, okay? It was just a date. It was just coffee and a muffin. And a movie. I could feel my face heating up as Coby started to grin at me like a Cheshire cat. I better tell him something. He'll never leave me alone. Duh, wow. See, like, these are all just parts of the story. Okay, we shared a muffin. We shared a muffin and had some coffee. It wasn't particularly thrilling or romantic, okay? You wouldn't be blushing like that if it was just a muffin. I'm not going to let you live vicariously through me, Coby. Besides, don't you have some dates to get yourself? But it's you. I haven't seen you out and about and with like have fun like forever. I want to hear because it's like you're my favorite bro. I like knowing you're happy. Yeah, right. He gave me the puppy dog eyes and I just melted. Coby was always there for me. When I wanted to hang out or just wanted to talk. It wasn't fair to hold back. All right. We had coffee. We went to a movie and we kissed. Nothing but tongue or anything like that. Just a peck. So what it's like? I know lots of people at the bar really like him. He's always so enthusiastic and flirty. And so cute. I'd be jealous. He was different at the start. Much quieter and much more reserved. I wonder if I did something wrong at first. Nah, he's probably just like you and doesn't get out much. I mean, he's at the bar almost every night until 3. Not that I stay up that late, of course. Of course. I was hoping it was just the first date jitters. I know I was feeling a little anxious, and I still do, but, you know, even afterwards, it was like I met a wholly different person. Well, that just means you need to go see him again, so you can get to know him a little better. You are going to go see him again, right? Let him call me. I'm a busy man. He can get to me when he wants. Yeah, we set a date. We talked for a while after the movie, and I suggested dinner over at my place around the corner. I've been wanting to try it out for a while now. Oh, romantic. Candlelight dinner. Maybe some wine? He immediately broke down to giggles. I felt my cheeks flush and glowered at him until he stopped. Sorry, bro. I'm just really happy for you. It's so cute thinking about you two together. You're not helping me feel any less awkward about this, you know. Coby continued to barrage me with questions about my first date until I managed to distract him with his own romantic life. As he went on and on about his conquests, I found myself half listening. Part of me kept thinking about Jax, the kiss at the theater, and the chat at the coffee shop before it. I might be a little rusty at dating, but there's one thing about that Jax isn't telling me. Even more revealing, I wanted to know what it was. Seeing the look on his face, watching him brighten a shade or two, I couldn't stop thinking about it at all. I hadn't felt this way about someone in a long time. Hello? I was paying attention, okay? No, you weren't. You were like a million miles away, likely with someone else. He was right, of course. It seemed like Jax made more of an impression on me than I thought. Still, wasn't any good to dwell on it. I couldn't compress my entire dating life into a single day. Come on now. Let's do something else. I need to distract myself for a while. Ew, what if we... Fortunately, Coby was more than willing to distract me, as there were a number of chores I had been neglecting. Between getting my backside whipped at video games, cleaning up the messes, and grabbing something for dinner, it was around 10 before I was too tired to worry. Coby had said some goodbyes as I ducked out of the door in his club gear and flopped into bed. It was nearly midnight when my phone started ringing. I forgot to silence it before passing out and struggled to grab it from the nightstand. Blinking myself awake, I swiped the answer and held the phone to my ear. Hello? I couldn't hear anything on the other end for a moment, save for the roaring crowd and at least a dozen background conversations. It sounded like someone was trying to talk to me, but before a few snippets above the din, finally I heard some sounds of movement and a door opening. The background noise grew muffled and I could finally make out a voice. Can you hear me now? Jax? Jax, why are you calling me in the middle of the night, bro? Is something wrong? There was a pause, longer than really felt comfortable. At first, I thought the connection had dropped out, but I soon heard a resigned sigh from the other end. One of the bartenders got sick and can't work for the rest of the week. I didn't want to tell you like this, but I didn't have a chance to step away until now. I don't get a real meal break until later. My heart sank a little. Was this for real, or was he just backing off again? I found myself getting a little angry at him until I realized he wouldn't be calling me in the middle of the night just to keep me at arm's length. I'm sorry. I really am. I was looking forward to it. It's been forever since I had a nice sit-down meal. I usually have to make do with whatever I can reheat in the kitchen from last night. What's on the menu? Tonight, I have a lovely boxed mac and cheese, aged for 3 weeks on the shelf. It's got a robust neon flavor, with hints of cardboard and memories of being in college. We both chuckled at Jackson's flowery description for a moment before settling back into his awkward silence. Maybe I was thinking out loud, but when he said, "This isn't an excuse, okay?" It caught me off guard. It was my concern, but to address it so directly, I spluttered into the phone, suggesting that I hadn't even considered it. Still, he seemed to have been pretty clear to read on me. I know I come off as a little distant yesterday, but I really had fun. I wanted to see what was in store for our next date. Next date? He was actually considering that? My cheeks flushed a little as the grin splayed across my lips. So are we actually dating? It wasn't just a casual muffin? Well, yeah. I don't split muffins with every cute guy who walks through the door and takes me out for coffee. I'd never keep my girlish figure if that was the case. My sense of ease was interrupted by the sounds of noise spilling into the background and someone shouting over the din. I know. I'm just finishing up now. I'm sorry, Tujo. I gotta run. Jack scrambled to end the call and left me sitting upright in bed, staring at my phone. All the anxiety I've been feeling from the night before seems so silly now. He wanted to see me again. He even said he did. Who knows when he might have the chance, though. I thought I'd try calling back. Maybe he could steal away for a moment or two before we can have lunch or something tomorrow. He isn't picking up. Maybe he can't hear his phone right now, or maybe he's busy. I suppose I could always drop by the club. Alright, I'm feeling kind of adventurous. Let's do that. If we couldn't find the time to do it, then I needed to make the time to see him. He mentioned the meal break and didn't sound thrilled about his food options. Maybe I should just grab something to bring. I got myself together and headed towards the door. The only question is, what to bring? Between me and the club, there are a few choices that were open this late. Kind of disappointed it didn't give me Burger Wolf. Dragon's House of Noodles. Mia Amor. Favors curries. Mia Amor. Mia Amor was probably the more expensive option, but nothing says a romantic dinner like some hearty Italian. I picked up a big order of spaghetti and some garlic bread. I figured simple would be the best and the lightest in my wallet. That said, the smell of the meatballs was heaven. I just hope you like extra Parmesan. With traffic being almost non-existent, it was easy to get to the club in record time. After wrestling with the car to slip into this parking space remaining, I hooked to the front door and made my way inside. The place is packed from wall to wall. Yeah, this is really packed from wall to wall, right? And I could barely hear anyone over the music in the crowd. Seeing the sorority goers Jack had mentioned invited a few more friends over throughout the night. Hey girls, it's fresh meat, and not a bad looking one at that. Woo! Take off your top. I spluttered in place as the first girl bounced in front of me, sloshing her drink around. It was pretty clear from her expression that it wasn't her first. Come on, cut loose. Woo, we're all here to party. You should come join us. I just know Monique would be into you. I tried to bow out, shouting over the noise as she began to tug at my arm and yank me in the direction of the booth. I desperately looked around for Jax or anyone else so I could recognize as she pulled me to the table, scattered with shot glasses. Shots, 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 woo! As I was about to down at one just to get them to let go, one of the other bartenders from last night tapped me on the shoulder. He gave me a wink and nudged me back as he laid out a whole new array of beverages for the enthusiastic crowd. They seemed to forget about me for a moment and snagged each of their favorite alcoholic fruit salads off the tray. Sorry about that. They've been getting a little rowdy. Hey, follow me. Is he just polishing glass? The two of us made our way through the club and back to the main bar. He lifted a small separator and ushered me through, past it, and through the swing kitchen door. While it was a bit darker back there, it was also much quieter. There now, I don't have to shout. You're Tujo, right? Jax has been complaining about having to work tomorrow since the start of his shift. He told us you might be stopping by. Seems like he's pretty fond of you. He gave off a bit of an elbow nudge as I stammered back at him. I didn't expect his coworkers to be so aware of his dating life. I just tried to smile and not feel too awkward about someone knowing about me and him. Yeah, well, we hit it off pretty well, okay? Good to see him dating again. Been trying to bury himself in work so long. Heck, it's just his luck that one day he asks off this week is when Mitch gets sick. He led me back to an empty prep table, right back at the kitchen. A couple of abused parcels served as chairs. He motioned to one and smiled. I'll let him know you're back here, okay? Thanks, pal. After I got settled in, he stepped back out in the club. My head was spinning. In 5 minutes, I learned more about Jax's past than I had our whole first date. Still, his initial reaction to me outside the bar made a little more sense, but I still didn't know what actually happened. I started unpacking what I brought, grabbing a few dishes from the clean stack near the dishwasher and setting them up on the table. I first poured each of us a glass of water when Jax walked in. It had clearly been a long night for Jax, and his chipper attitude was waning and his stomach was audibly rumbling. It made me wonder if I'd had a chance to grab him something to eat this morning. I hate to be blunt, but I'm starving. Do you mind if we just jump in? Not at all. I nibbled at my food while Jax wolfed his down. I asked him about his day, now that he was, doing now, and the two of us exchanged pleasantries as we ate. I still couldn't put what the other bartender had said about out of my head, nor the awkwardness of him knowing my name without knowing his. Jax must have sensed it, as we sat down his food and smiled. Much better. Sorry if I don't get something to eat. I tend to collapse around this point. Spaghetti? Did you have ulterior motive? Seeing kisses across the table or something? If that was my intention, I wouldn't have gotten garlic bread. True enough. Either way, it's better than reheated mac and cheese for the third night in a row. Thanks. Sitting across the table, my mind wandered back what the bartender had said. It seemed clear that Jax was at least interested in me, but why was he so quiet when we first met? I didn't want to pry, but I had to know. Hey, Jax, I don't know how to say this, but I need to ask you something. It's been bothering me for a while now. What's that? Yesterday, you were a different person at the start. Quiet, reserved, unsure. Here, though, you're a showman. Your coworker mentioned that you hadn't been dating for a while, and I just... What happened? I mean, it's not important. What is important? But it's not just a big deal. I want to make sure I'm not getting the wrong signals. I like you, Jax. It's a little painful still. Hard to talk about, even with my friends. I figured, but I like the you I got to know from the first time we met. The you that I was with at the movie. I don't want him to vanish on me. You're only the second guy I've dated. Most of the time, I've been with women. It's always been casual, and we've been friends afterwards, but the first guy I was with, I met back in college. He shifted a little in his seat, his scales fading to a duller hue. It was clear he was getting a little uncomfortable. He was a driven guy, very ambitious. He got straight A's in all of his classes, involved in nearly every activity on campus, and, well, he wound up tutoring me in math. We got to know each other And then, one night, he leans over and kisses me on the lips. He blushes as he looked down towards the table. Shutting his eyes for a moment, he took a slow breath and continued. It wasn't really an aha, I'm gay moment, but it was definitely intoxicating. It was like being new to the whole thing and stuff. We were tight throughout our first 2 years of school. He'd always take me out to fancy places, buy me stuff. It was fun in a materialistic sort of way. We all like it when someone takes care of us. I know there are days I look at the bills and wish I had a sugar daddy. I've been working a couple odd jobs to pay tuition and other costs. Mostly waiting jobs at restaurants, since tips could give me a little extra cash I needed to, for my day-to-day stuff. After a while, though, I found I really liked it. Showmanship, performing in front of an audience. You do look like you love it. I've never seen anyone so enthusiastic about making drinks and getting to know people. He beamed at me from across the table as his hand slid across towards mine. He stopped short and looked back down at his plate, his smile vanishing. He didn't, though. So it was a waste of time. That I'd never make any money off of it or go anywhere important. That's when the farts started. I broke it off when we went our separate ways. I went back to girls and he, last I heard, he was off in New York or some shit with a law firm or an investment bank or something. I don't get it. What does that have to do with dating guys? He shrugged a little, lowering his gaze at the table. He was my first. I guess I just assumed most guys were going to be like him. Working at a bar, I saw how most guys approached women and figured that was the norm. So I just kind of dove into what I loved. I get to flirt here and there, maybe have a dinner with an attractive woman and not get judged for doing what I do with my life. Jax, I'm not going to judge you, okay? It's part of the reason I asked you out. In a room full of people trying to beat a scene, you stood out the most to me. You sweet talker, you. I'm not your ex, and I'm certainly not someone who wants you to get into your skimpy, very flattering briefs. I called you out because I wanted to get to know you, beyond your abilities to mix drinks and flirt. Believe me, I know. For one thing, he never visited me at work. For another, he never instigate anything he didn't already want to do. We sat and chatted for a brief while, talking about our past and a little bit about our presents. Unfortunately, it wasn't very long before the kitchen door swung open once more, Jax's coworker shuffling in and looking quite haggard. Jax, the girls out there are about to start a bar brawl if you don't go back out. They say you're the only one who knows how to slice a mango with sexy. Both of us snickered before looking at each other. Give me a second to clean up. Tell them I'm grabbing one of the melons that they could want. The bartender nodded and smiled in relief before heading back to the main room. The two of us looking back to clean up and chat a little bit more. Once we finished with the dishes, Jax turned to me with a resigned smile. Well, seems my public awaits. Sorry to cut the date so short. The downside of being a working stiff these days? It's alright. Not like the ample free time from unemployment is doing me much good. I'm glad we got some time to spend together. It's flattering, really, considering how in demand you seem to be. Wouldn't have it any other way. I'm a total attraction whore. I couldn't help but to chuckle. It was comforting to see the confident, sharp-dressed guy who served me my first drink again. He always looked his best at his bluest. I expect a third date, Maybe a third and a half date, considering this wasn't nearly as much fun as our first. I'll try to make it a little bit more interesting than back in the kitchen at your work. Next time, I'll bring muffins and fireworks. Just know that's setting the bar pretty high. He winked at me and took a step back as if to leave. I could feel the pull, the attraction at the moment that lingered between us. Like there was something more to say or do. Maybe it was just me wanting more time with him. Before he could pull away, I placed my hand on his shoulder. Once he turned, I leaned in close and pressed my lips firmly against his. He immediately melted into the kiss, his eyes fluttering shut as he pressed his body close to mine. The two of us held that moment for a moment, as long as we could. Tongues touching as our hands clutched each other tightly. Reluctantly, I pulled away and stroked his cheek softly. You expect better than that on our next date. Wow. I didn't think I could look forward to it more than I already did. He coughed lightly and adjusted himself, his skimpy brief now a little tighter than usual around his sensitive areas. He kissed me gently on the cheek and strode back into the club. Good night, handsome. Staying there, pants quite awkwardly tight, in the darkened kitchen, I felt a little more comfortable and confident than I had in a while. I ducked out the door to avoid the crowds and made my way back to the car. Now, I knew the feeling was mutual and the third date was going to be something monumental. At least, that was my intention. Now I just had to deal with Coby badgering me for details. It was kind of fun being the one with something to talk about instead of him. And a story of a kiss like that had to be shared. Alright, I think that's a good place to end for tonight. And I'm going to end at number 2. Yes, I am very sure. Very sure. Anyway, before I cut this stream off, I just wanted to say, as far as next steps from here, if any of you have recommendations for me, I was thinking about starting Major Minor because Amorous is definitely going to come to a close. But hey, feel free to comment on this video. Just let me know what you want to see coming up. I had some ideas, but again, you being the viewers and getting some new attention through subscribers, I want to see what you guys want to see in the coming days. So, just don't hesitate to say something. Again, Major Minor looms on the horizon. I can continue another playthrough of Amorous, but people generally aren't going to want to see it like a playthrough over and over and over again. I can only tweak the voices so much here and there. So, with that, we're going to quit the game. Oh. Something else? I never get tired of that scream. Anyway, till next time, adios.